Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elite Racing Network's presentation of the SMRI Productions Grand National Series here for the Elite Racing League. Tonight, we are at the virtual Martinsville Speedway for the regular season finale for the SMRI Productions 150 laps, just shy of 79 miles around this half-mile, 0.53-mile paperclip Martinsville Speedway. I'm Ryan Gavel, and alongside me is Jordan Owens on productions. Tonight, qualifying has just gotten underway for what is bound to be a thrilling finale to this 11-race regular season before we head into the final 7 races that begin next week at the Daytona Road Course in the 14-driver playoffs, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But qualifying just underway here, just under 3 minutes left until cars hit the grid. Bound to be a really good race tonight. Expect a lot of smashing and bashing as we usually see on short tracks, of course, but I do hope that we can get some good runs in as well, because it can put on a really good show here at Martinsville Speedway. But Jordan, I know what I expect. What do you expect for tonight's race?
Oh, I completely agree with you. I'm hoping to see some long green flag runs if we can get them, because I do think tire wear plays a much bigger difference here than most people think. However, I think it's going to come down to the field being patient enough to have, you just can't go in and dive bomb people. That's what I'm worried about. I'm hoping we don't see that, but if we do, we might see some pace laps here tonight. So, yeah. It's a toss-up.
For sure. It's what's expected here at Martinsville. It doesn't matter. You've seen it in the professionals. The professionals on this simulator here on iRacing.com have caused a lot of cautions here at this track, racing against each other. You throw us here in the Elite Racing League in. There's a really good group of drivers in this league, but we're still going to tear some stuff up for sure out here at Martinsville. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that one. If we get a good run, that's a mission accomplished, but there's going to be a string of cautions, and I expect it to come at any point during this race here tonight. It could go any way. We're also going to see the sunset and the lights come on, I believe, here at Martinsville. The lights here are new, and they are in the iRacing simulator as well. But as the clock continues to tick, front row right now is Lake Norman Motorsports 1-2. It was Damien Leininger for a second, who he almost picked up the win in the Cup Series here at Martinsville. Myself and him were going at it at the end of the race in the Cup Series, the JoinAPS.com Cup Series for the Elite Racing League, but then we wrecked each other, and Tyler Fodey took the win, so he's going to try and do it again here tonight. But Fodey first, Damien Leininger second, which this race is extremely important to Damien Leininger, as you see Hank Steinmiller slide across for a 5th place lap right there. Damien Leininger sits, it's the top 14 make it into the chase. He sits 15th, 12 points behind Vincent Isabella, 15 behind Josh Clark, 16 behind Nick Massey, is the really tight group we got to look at. Everyone else is 25, 28. That's Frankenfield, Tooker. They're pretty well in. Hank Steinmiller has a 40-point gap. Brian Blauman has a 45-point gap to the good. They're all in pretty good shape, unless some sort of catastrophe happens. But we've seen Damien look really good in the last couple of races. I wouldn't be shocked to see him finish up front and be a contender to sneak into the chase here late in the going. So it's going to be a really tight battle coming down to it. But and then again, there's still a lot of guys that could find themselves winning their way into the chase from outside of this group, because this track can bring some upset winners, that is for sure. But qualifying is over. Give it to Tyler Fodey on the pole. Winner 2 weeks ago at Homestead. That was his second win of the season. This is his first pole of the season. And, of course, the big storyline with Tyler Fodey is the fact that he has all but, well, actually, I think he has mathematically locked the regular season championship. He has a 46-point lead, so he is all but mathematically locked that points championship of the regular season, which is a huge advantage in the points. And he did that not on any sort of luck. He has finished in the top 10 in every single race this season, along with 8 top 5s in 10 races. That's really impressive.
Yeah, Tyler Fodey, he's kind of just been, taking care of his stuff, and not just this series, but also in our Join APS Cup Series. I believe he's the points leader there too. Just he's brought his A game this season. It's impressive to see.
Yeah, on every track type, from the road courses, he's run well. The 1.5 miles, he runs really well. And here we are at a short track. He's on the pole.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to find the words for. I was like, how do we describe someone that's been so good all season long?
That's exactly right. We also wanted to mention real quick that Ryan Lutz is back after serving a suspension for a few races. He is back in the 36 machine. He starts 10th, a really, really strong driver here on these short tracks. And I expect him to find his way to the front. He starts 10th. He won at Iowa, the short track, 3 races into this season, got the pole and won the race. That was the 3rd race of the season, but due to missing all those races, he has lost his playoff eligibility, so he is racing to win here, and that's it. But we are taking the grid here. 32 cars are taking the green flag tonight, led by Tyler Fodey in the SMRI Productions 150 from Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, it's worth saying if Lutz, 10th place might be the lowest he runs the entire day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. I mean, he's that good here as we run down the starting grid. Just want to make a quick shout out to SMRI Productions, the sponsor of the series and tonight's event. SMRI is an independent record label and media company that exists at the intersection of creation, media, and technology. They focus on delivering comprehensive digital content with organic media for all of your digital needs. They also provide multiple avenues of content consumption, making sure that you're always in control. As a content provider, SMRI offers a unique, ever-growing catalog to fit your needs for any bespoke media desire. So that is SMRI Productions tonight for the SMRI Productions 150. We are half a lap from the green here in Martinsville.
Yeah, this is going to be a good race. We got a lot of drivers up front that want to prove something. So Tyler Fodey's going to have to keep his eyes out here.
Here we go. Pace car is in. The Blue Egg Marketing and Days Gone By Vintage Racing Apparel Chevrolet leads the field to the green. We are underway at Martinsville for the final race of the regular season. Through turns 1 and 2, Tyler Fodey, Damien Leininger, Nick Massey, Hank Steinmiller, Brian Blauman, the top 5 file out, single file. They are side by side through the field, and we got a spinner already. Andrew Rucker is parallel to the field, now perpendicular to the field, rather. Everybody stopped and nobody hit him, I don't think. We are under caution immediately here at Martinsville.
Yeah, we'll
that one happened entering turn 3.
Stay tuned, Sports Replay here. We'll get a good look at it. We got enough time. This is him taking the green. We'll follow it out.
Yeah, he looked good through turns 1 and 2. You're going to see here in a moment. He's behind last week's winner in the number 69 of Chris Wright. Chris Wright last week was the winner in both this series and Erska. Pulled off the double.
Wheel hop.
You see him drive it in a little bit too deep, get some wheel hop, and spin it. We see Chad Frankenfield had some contact with somebody there into turn 3, but for the most part, everyone avoids it clean.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting and Joe Campbell came to a complete stop there.
Yes, they did, but good move for everybody to avoid that. But yeah, Chris Wright won here in the Elite Racing League SMRI Productions Grand National Series at Darlington in a thrilling finish we had there. Chris Wright won that race and then went on, immediately jumped into Erska and won that one as well, I believe.
Yeah, he was on fire last week, so great racing by him. He's just been in form lately. Hard to touch.
Yeah, definitely has been. He was the highest driver. I think he was 3rd in points coming into last week's race, and he had been without a win, and he picked it up last week, his first win of the season. So he is locked in to the playoffs, currently the 4th seed into the playoffs. Tyler Fodey is the 1st seed, along with the regular season championship. He is all but locked up tonight. He also has 2 wins. R.C. Enerson has 2 wins, and then Scott Crump also has 2 wins in the number 90 car, which he also is going to be missing tonight's race along with the first 2 races of the first round of the playoffs. So he will still be eligible coming into the last one if he wins to advance, from what I understand. So if Scott Crump comes back at Talladega and pulls off the win, that's the only chance he'll have at getting through from the cut to 14 down to 9 for round 2. So round 1 of the playoffs starts next week at the Daytona International Speedway Road Course, and then we head over to Charlotte Motor Speedway and then to Talladega Super Speedway. And that is the first round of the chase. See, we're going to double up here. Tyler Fodey going to take the outside, and that is more than likely to aid and assist the teammate of his right behind him, Hank Steinmiller, in the number 63. He is starting 4th, but he'll now be at a pretty big advantage here with his teammate, the leader, the control car, counting him down right in front of him. Hank Steinmiller, winner in the Cup Series on Wednesday night at Darlington. It was his first career Cup Series win here on the Elite Racing League, but we are back underway. Tyler Fodey gets a good jump on the top. Damien Leininger will be clear. Will Hank Steinmiller make it work, though, from the outside into turn number 1? He overdrove it a little bit. Nick Massey's going to have the run on the inside line. They're going to be battling hard for 3rd as the top 2 putt on away into turn 3.
That's a great restart.
Yeah, it was a great restart. Not so much for Steinmiller. He wasn't able to make it work on the top. Give it to Nick Massey to 3rd, Steinmiller 4th.
Yeah, it was worth trying for a team orchestration. So I see why they did it. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out for sure, and this is a tough place to make that work. The outside is just enough of a disadvantage that the guy on the bottom is going to have a good shot here. As I was watching Ryan Lutz, some sparks flying off that car as he caught the wall into turn 3 a lap ago, just barely. Not any issue whatsoever. Definitely the first of many to have contact with something tonight. But Tyler Fodey out front leading laps, picking up all the points he can, as if he needs more. Leading the first 10 laps of 150 tonight. 33 starters in tonight's event. Zishan Dura has already dropped out. Not sure what was happening there with Zishan. He will finish 33rd more than likely unless he returns. And we are under caution. Back of the field, it's the 08 of Mark Keeler in the Speed 51.TV Chevrolet Camaro. He's running outside of the top 25. Looks like he got some damage to the right front. We'll have to go back and take a look there.
Yeah, we'll try and get a replay of it. I'm sure I can find it. Here we go. We got the Stay Tuned Sports replay here right now.
Yeah, it looks like actually very similar to what happened to Andrew Rucker. There was a bit of a check off of turn 4 right in front of him, but he got in the corner too deep and it wheel hopped. You see the right rear kind of step out from under him, and then the right front comes around and nosed into the wall, which caused him to stop on the racetrack. But very similar, and it's something you do see in real life, is the wheel hop coming in to play and causing you to lose control into a corner. If you drive it in too deep or get on the brakes too hard, or depending on what your brake bias is, it can be very easy to wheel hop, and that's twice now we've seen it happen, so it's definitely biting these guys early on.
Yeah, and brake bias is one of the few things these guys are able to change, so it makes sense that they're being aggressive with that, and it can turn around to hurt them here in the race.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things at short tracks to change to your setup in a fixed race, a fixed setup race. There is that is something you can change, and it's a lot of it's about comfort level. That's why they allow you to change it, because some people are better with it lower, some people like it higher. Depends on the track. Then you can change the steering ratio and the offset also to help with either saving tires or being faster on the short run. Even in a fixed setup race, there's such few things you can change, but they can make a really big difference to how you drive the race car.
And there goes Ethan Reisner getting the free pass.
Yeah, I believe he missed the start of the race, so he went lap down, so he gets the lucky dog here. Also, Zishan Dura seems to be having some internet problems because he rejoined the race here. He's 4 laps down, but still a ways to go. He could make those back if we get a slew of cautions, but the 0-1 back on the racetrack. But Tyler Fodey still leading 15 laps complete here once we get around to the stripe. It is a 1-2-4 for Lake Norman Motorsports right now. Nick Massey runs third. He's someone who needs a good run, especially if you see that number 12 car of Damien Leininger win this race. Nick Massey is 16 points to the good, but if Damien Leininger wins, that knocks the bottom guy out, which would put Nick Massey a single point to the good, from my understanding. I might be wrong, but it all depends on who wins this race. If Tyler Fodey wins this, it's all about the points, and as they run right now, Massey would be easily in. And then you have to look back to see where the number 2 of Vincent Isabella, he's 12th. I believe that's 10 points below Damien, so I think Vincent's running good enough to where he'd still hold on to that final spot. But it all depends if Damien leads laps, finishes with a 0x, leads the most laps, his bonus points to be gained as well. But we are coming to the green again. Tyler Fodey, the control car on the outside line. We are underway. And, Nick Massey blinked a little bit, and that's going to open the door for Hank Steinmiller to slide in, and they make it work this time. 1-2-3 for Lake Norman Motorsports, as it is an Oklahoma land rush into turn number 3 from 4th on back.
Oklahoma, I love it.
Out of turn number 4, it's Massey versus Burrell for position number 4. Oh, lots of guys cutting low. Ryan Lutz with an aggressive move to the inside. Had to get on the binders, tried to make an aggressive cut for the inside. He got blocked by Blauman. Aggressive racing out of the 36 in what looks to be a mid-2000s Kevin Harvick type throwback. Back in the Goodwrench days when he drove the number 29. I don't know, that's maybe a 2004 paint scheme he's got on there.
Yeah, he picked up some...
week was a week ago, but yeah, he did pick up some damage there on the right rear. Not sure how that happened.
Huh.
Also, Chris Wright has some damage to the nose. Very slight. He can barely tell.
Oh, RC
Anderson turned in front of everyone, and everyone's going to get around it.
There he is.
He is around with heavy damage to the nose, the left rear. He's already been beaten around, but he is now at the rear of the field after having to wait for everybody to get by. Going to have to look back. It looks like there was contact there. This one may not have been wheel hop.
No, that was definitely contact. I'll go back to it. It's worth a look.
Looks like, RC backed off early going into turn number 3 as he was trying to get down behind his teammate Chad Frankenfield.
Hey, here we go.
You're going to see him back off early, try to get in line behind his teammate Frankenfield. Vincent tried to drive it in deep to get under him, and then turned the 50 Enerson around. Clark barely squeezes by. People jumping the curb. Very slight contact. But Enerson trying to get to the bottom, and Isabella stuck his nose in there, and around he went.
Yeah, he just went for a hole that wasn't there. I mean, this is Martinsville. That's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a product of this type of racing, and that is a racing deal. No EOLs given out, so caution out again. I already am starting to lose count, but I believe that is number 3 on the night.
Yeah.
And we are 22 laps into this race. I expect if we have a race where there's no long run whatsoever, it's probably going to be a one-stop race, maybe 2 at most, because it's just all about track position. And it's all about when is the right time to pit. But if we get ourselves a run of 30 laps, 25 laps, we'll more than likely see the majority of the field, if everybody, come in to get tires, because they are important. And if the majority comes in and you're with the minority that stays out on old tires, you're going to get swallowed up pretty quick. But if the majority stays out, it's going to be really hard to get through all of them on fresh tires.
Well, I was wondering, do you think Tyler Fodey might be trying to do a Matthew Wheat strategy here and stay out the entire race.
I remember that at North Wilkesboro, and if the race is that filled with cautions, I would say he could, but it is all up to him.
Yeah.
I did not talk to him before the race, but I assume that, that is something in mind. It all depends on if we get a run or not. If we don't get any sort of long run, he could find himself just sitting here for the whole race as the lights on the pace car go off 1 to green, but I have no idea. I feel like this track eats up tires a lot worse than North Wilkesboro, and I also think there's a good chance that we get a run of some sort in, I hope. The other advantage Fodey has is the fact that he has his teammates 1, 2, 3. So if they all decide to work together, which also doesn't always happen, is you get teammates to all work together. If they all stay out together, that really helps each other as you have a slightly bigger group that stays out. So it's harder to get through that.
Right. Ooh,
all right.
Early start.
A lot of tire spin. The 12, it was a big jump by Fodey, and Damien spun the tires really bad, got kicked extremely sideways. Hank Steinmiller's going to try and hold on to third, but Massey puts up a fight on the outside. All sorts of tire spin from the 12 car on that restart. Fodey got away good and has built up a little bit of a lead. The battle is on from third on back. It is Hank Steinmiller and Nick Massey going at it.
Yeah, Hank has the preferred line. Looks like he's going clear. Ethan Burrell is going to take a shot at him.
Ooh, man, they're getting close even for the lead up there. Damien is not laying back too much. It's still a good gap, though. Damien just getting to his bumper every corner or so, but good battle back here with Burrell under Massey, Lutz under Blauman. They've already had a bit of a run-in earlier with some aggressive racing. Chad Frankenfield making his way up there as well. Chad has definitely not had as good of a season as he would have expected. Last season's Cup Series champion, Chad Frankenfield, only 25 points to the good win list this season in the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. Ooh, as he gets really loose out of turn 2. Still side by side is Blauman. Ooh, as he caught the curb there out of 4. That's going to hurt him big time. Massey's going to be able to clear into turn number 1 in the 48. Blauman back to 7th, and now we are single file through the top 10, which is rounded out by Thomas Sherman. 11th is Vincent Isabella.
Fodey still leading Leininger here at the front.
Still, even though this is a short track and there's a good chance at more cautions compared to a mile and a half, when you never know, a race could go green the whole way and you're kind of working the wheel a lot more than this short track. Tire saving is still very important, easing into the throttle, not turning the wheel too hard and burning the right front up. It's extremely important still to tire save, especially the fact that this race could see very few, if not any, pit stops, as we saw Matthew Weeks at North Wilkesboro pull the do not pit at all and win strategy. But I do expect these guys to pit once. I don't think you're going to stay out all the way, even with the amount of cautions we'll have. This run we're having right here is already enough to make me starting to think about pitting. Coming into the next caution, we're looking really clean right now. Single file all the way back to outside of the top 20.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think tires are going to be a bigger issue here tonight than they were at North Wilkesboro.
Here goes the pass for 4th. Ryan Lutz to the inside of Ethan Burrell. Lutz dealing with some heavy damage to the right rear, now the left rear as well. I missed how he picked all that damage up, but he moves up into position number 4. It does not matter the kind of damage you're getting at Martinsville, especially if it's on the back bumper. The front bumper is the one that you really only have to worry about. As long as you don't blow the thing up, you're still going to be in contention to win. Also wanted to mention there's a newcomer to the SMRI Productions Grand National Series that is a new face to me. I'm not sure if he runs in the truck series or something, but Trevor Elam in the 24. He currently runs 12th after starting 18th, so a solid start to this race. A clean car as well. Very important thing to have.
Got a solid black car out on the track right now.
Yeah, I can't even see the numbers on that, but I can promise you it is 24. according to timing and scoring. He makes a move here on Vincent Isabella, who comes down across his nose there. Was not letting Trevor dive into turn number 1 under there.
Trevor cut him some slack.
Yeah, he definitely did. Ooh, he tried to return the favor there to his back bumper into turn 3. And he got a good run out of 4. He might have another shot here. This is the battle for 11th. And, of course, Vincent Isabella is racing for a lot tonight, trying to hold on to that last spot in the chase. It looks like he's going to cut Trevor some slack here as he makes his way to the inside for 11th. But Vince does not want to get left around right behind the Michael Daniel Martinez. You see it live. Has self-spun and nosed into the wall out of turn 4, and we are under caution. 38 laps into this race for the 4th time.
Dan got it going, but he definitely took a hard hit in the inside wall there.
Yeah, he nosed in pretty good, and that's the one place you really don't want any damage is the nose. But yeah, it's not the end of the world for sure. But he nosed it in pretty good, right behind that battle that we were watching between Elam and Vincent Isabella. But caution is out, and it looks like, I believe the pits were open, and a group of guys are coming in from just about 10th on back. Chris Wright from 9th, Isabella, Matthew Weeks, Gerald Campbell, Andrew Rucker, Josh Robin, Dustin Dewar. A couple other guys from the back of the field are in for tires. So it's all about when the cautions fall, or if you get caught up in an unfortunate accident because you sent yourself to the rear of the field on this pit stop here. We'll have to see how that strategy works out, but the top 8 remain on the racetrack.
Yeah, while they pace here, we'll go ahead and take this time to take a quick break. We're going to show a couple commercials. We'll be back shortly.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
February 15th, 2021. Chapter 2 begins. Redemption. A new beginning. Continued success. Friendships, rivals, fights, heartbreak, sorrow, and joy. The book will write itself, page by page. Along for the thrill ride. From the beaches of Daytona, cornfields of Iowa, those yard of bricks in Indiana, that 4/10 of a mile dirt track in southwest Pennsylvania, honky tonks in Nashville.
All right, back here at the Martinsville Speedway for the SMRI Productions 150. That was Richmar Flores and Erska, who we appreciate helping out with the league, of course. Erska runs later tonight. Jordan, where are they tonight, real quick?
We're at Michigan at 9:30 p.m.
Sounds awesome, and we are back underway. Tyler Fodey jumping really strong again. Damien Leininger spins the tires out of turn number 4. Tough thing to do at this racetrack when the restarts are practically happening in the corner. But Leininger second, Steinmiller third. It'd make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 now for Lake Norman Motorsports as Ryan Lutz has climbed from 10th to 4th. And like you said, Jordan, I don't expect to see him anywhere worse than where he started this race in 10th. He's already up well inside the top 5 into the 4th position. Oh, crashing in the back. 1 car around. Oh, 2. Chris Wright has nosed it into the wall, along with Harrison Talon, and that's what I was just saying. The risk of pitting and sending yourself to the rear of the field. Chris Wright, last week's winner in both Erska and this series here with the Elite Racing League, has gone around, and he got the wall hard in the nose after getting tagged by spinning Harrison Talon. You'll see it here on the replay.
Oh, wow, Goodman.
Went in way too deep, caught the left rear of Harrison, and then came down and got the right rear of Chris Wright is actually what happened. So interesting there, but Goodman definitely got in a little bit too deep in turn number 1. Looks like Chris Wright also got beat by the pace car when he was trying to get rolling, so he'll be a wave around car here, which the only thing that hurts is he won't be able to pit until the next caution if he wants to fix that damage, which I assume he does. But caution out again. And the 44 will get the EOL on that one for Michael Goodman. Goodman comes into this race in that beautiful number 44 LASCAR machine in a must-win situation to make it into the chase, and that is not how you want to get this race going, as we are almost a third of the way complete here. 47 laps complete at Martinsville.
Yeah, he just overcooked it there, and you know, that's one of those things, like, anybody can do that, especially at Martinsville. So just a little bit of a mistake there by Goodman. He'll be okay. He'll rebound. Comes Mark Keeler getting the free pass. I'm not sure if iRacing is going to let Chris Wright by or not.
I assume it will when they hit 1 to go. I think is how it usually works. If you get caught as the wave around, we'll have to see if that does happen. But as long as he's only being told to stay behind the pace car and not Tyler Fodey or other lead lap cars, he should be getting the wave around when he hit 1 to go. But yeah, Mark Keeler just got the lucky dog, so that brings us to 32 cars on the lead lap.
Is that Zishan Dura down there? Really slow car?
Yeah, he just came out of the pits. I think he got beat by the pace car. He is 4 laps down after having to leave the race earlier.
Yeah, hopefully he got his internet issues figured out. He also runs an Erska after this tonight. And Chris Wright does get that free pass.
Yes, he does. So he'll be back at the tail of the lead lap. He'll have to wait till the next caution to fix any damage. But we're at 1 degree now. Be 100 laps to go when we take the green flag for Tyler Fodey, who's led them all so far, but he's got 3 teammates right behind him that are hungry for a win. Pace car is in.
Early jump.
Again, Tyler Fodey with a good jump, with the huge advantage it is of being the leader on these restarts. Ooh, Damien drives it in deep. Oh, Hank Steinmiller almost got into his teammate Ryan Lutz, who I believe recognized it was happening and was able to move over just a little bit further to the outside and avoid contact. He's going to slot into the line in 3rd. Hank 4th, and Damien Leininger is 2nd. Tyler Fodey, your leader.
Lutz from 10th to 3rd. That's impressive.
Yeah, that is really impressive for Ryan Lutz. Behind Burrell is a Nick Massey number 48 machine who's, trouble, front straightaway, 1 car, nosed in the wall hard out of turn 4. Might have been Zach Evans.
Yeah.
Zach Evans in the 6 car. Oh, he got turned by Vincent Isabella. And he nosed in the wall pretty good out of turn 4. So under caution again. I don't expect any takers into the pit lane as we didn't get much of a run there.
Yeah, here's a good replay of it. Pretty straightforward there. Just got into him.
Yep, I don't know if Zach wasn't able to get down on the power hard enough and Vince expected him to get going, but either way, he got into him. So under the caution here, again at Martinsville, and we want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors, including C2 Freight. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services, and they are ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, and intermodal containers, and more. That's C2 Freight. Also, you saw the commercial just a few minutes ago. Richmar Florist has been serving the Lehigh Valley area and beyond since 1955. Richmar Florist has grown into one of the most recognizable floral names in the racing world. Richmar Florist offers delivery around the corner or around the world with a simple and easy-to-use website. www.richmarflorist.com offers selections for any of life's special occasions. Richmar Florist is proud partners with Pocono Raceway, Dover International Speedway, and drivers across all 3 series of NASCAR. Support the family-owned company who supports your favorite sport virtually and at the track. Call it or order online today.
While all that was happening, Zishan Dura got the free pass at the time. At this rate, he might be able to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he very well could.
3 down, so...
Zishan 3 laps down. He's the only car lap down, though, so 3 more quick cautions, and he's there. Albeit if no one else goes a lap down, of course.
He should be going double file this time, I believe.
Yeah, lights are off on the pace car, so we'll be going green next time by. 92 laps to go in this one. Tyler Fodey has led them all, with his Lake Norman Motorsports teammates right behind him in tow.
Let's see what kind of jump Fodey gets here.
Yeah, probably another good one, and we are underway. Yeah. Ooh, not as good as he had been, but good enough to be very clear of his teammates. Down into turn number 1. Hard on the brakes. Damien overdrives it a little bit. Ryan Lutz falls into 3rd, but look at this battle for 4th. Ethan Burrell trying to make work of Hank Steinmiller for the 3rd position, trying to split up that Lake Norman gang just a little bit. Steinmiller, who started in the 6th position, worked his way up to 3rd, now falling back, and he's being left out to dry on that top line. Chad Frankenfield, he's going to make his way up into 5th around Hank Steinmiller as well.
Yeah, I believe Hank's just a victim of being on the outside here.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and he's stuck there with a bunch of cars coming through now.
He could continue to fall.
Nick Massey coming through. Look at Trevor Elam, who we talked about earlier. He's moving up into 8th if he can make this pass on Hank Steinmiller. Strong debut run for the all-black number 24. Oh, Thomas Sherman just washed up and took out Hank Steinmiller, but the caution was... He saved it. There was a caution for something else, because the caution came out as they got into it out of turn 4. Sherman washed up into Hank Steinmiller, who, yeah, he saved it. But looks like Michael Goodman is destroyed. The nose of that car is gone. He's up in smoke. But there's been a heavy accident there in the rear of the field that we missed.
We'll
We were
get
watching the battle up front.
we'll get a replay on it.
Oh man, it was a major pileup caused by a self-spin on the 32 of Dusty Dewar. Oh man, he plowed into the wall hard, head on, after spinning out of 2 and bounced all the way back to the outside wall where he's going to get hit by Michael Goodman here. You'll see it on the replay.
Ooh.
Both of those cars are out. Everyone else did a fantastic job avoiding it for the most part.
Yeah, Goodman had nowhere to go. That's all that is. Couple do-good cars going out early tonight.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard accident. Also, the race control just updated us on the calls for those incidents. They gave an EOL for both accidents. Dustin Dewar in the 32 gets an EOL for self-spinning and causing the crash that initially brought out the caution right as that second accident happened, and Thomas Sherman was given an EOL for that one. He bounced off the curbing coming into turn number 3 and got into Hank Steinmiller. Luckily, everyone there got away with minor damage, but either way, that's going to be an EOL for causing that one. And Thomas Sherman's one of those guys we've talked about a lot this season with a ton of bad luck. He was a guy who easily made his way into the chase last year for the most part and had a lot of really good runs, but has had a lot of issues that have plagued a good season for him this year. And he's in a must-win situation coming into tonight's race, and that is not going to help his situation on getting a victory tonight.
Yeah, Thomas has just had a multitude of on-track issues, internet issues. If it can happen, it's happened to him this season. How many points is he out of it?
Thomas Sherman
Yeah.
is enough points out where he's in a must-win situation
Yeah.
according to the spreadsheet I was given.
Yeah, I figured there was a few drivers there that they have to win to make it tonight.
Yeah, there are only 2 drivers sitting outside of 14th with a chance to point their way in, being Damien Leininger, who runs 2nd right now, and the other being Josh Robin, who runs 12th. And the guys most at risk of falling out of the top 14 is Vincent Isabella, 12 points ahead of Damien. Then you got Josh Clark, who's 15 points ahead, and Nick Massey, 16 points ahead, as we are back underway. Another little bit of wheel spin from the outside line for Damien Leininger. But into turn number 1, he is clear. The battle is for 3rd now, as Ryan Lutz is up against Ethan Burrell on the outside line in the 37. Side by side through 3 and 4.
Ethan's putting up a good fight here. I don't think he's going to win it, though.
Yeah, Ethan Burrell has not won since Michigan race number 2, which again Erskine runs there tonight, but that is Ethan Burrell's last win. But he is definitely a threat to win week in and week out, and every track we go to is always running well within the top 10. Battle with Chad Frankenfield for that 4th position, the best of the rest outside of the Lake Norman Motorsports trio, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Chad's putting together a very good race here so far. He's kind of been following Lutz up through the field.
Yeah, Chad Frankenfield started 22nd in this one. So he has been on a charge, and so has Trevor Elam, who runs in 6th after starting 18th. A couple good runs there. Also want to mention the top 9 cars back to now Hank Steinmiller are on the original tires. 10th place Chuck Sweeting on 51-lap old tires. And Matthew Weeks is on 32-lap old tires. So that's the freshest tires, is when that sort of large group came in after that somewhat long run we had. Was 33 laps ago now, and Matthew Weeks is leading that charge of cars with some sort of fresher tire.
Yes, we watched Chad Franquist and Andrew Rucker go at it. This is back around 12th place, 11th place. Josh Robin joining the fray.
Watching some aggressive driving all the way through the field.
Hans.
That's exactly where I was watching, is right behind that. They're 4 wide into turn 3.
Clark gets spun.
And he got sandwiched into the wall by Zach Evans, causing heavy damage to both ends of that Toyota Supra. And Josh Clark, a real major driver when we talk about the chase bubble. That's major championship implications for the 28 of Josh Clark. Came in here not very far into the good, as we're going to take a look at the Stay Tuned Sports with Jimbo replay.
And here we go, come out of turn 1. You can see him already get 3 wide. Hans gets loose. And here we go.
Yeah, just not enough room to fit all those cars. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't put that on Zach Evans. I wouldn't put that on Hines. That's just a product of the checkup.
Yeah, that's a racing, isn't it?
I would have to agree. We'll have to wait and see what race control says. Of course, they are the final word, but I wouldn't expect any different. But Josh Clark came in here 15 points to the good over Damien Leininger. So that is not a huge gap, and he runs 29th now with heavy damage. And it is going to be a racing deal by race control. Also, Ethan Burrell just came down pit road. This is a very crucial moment because we are exactly halfway into this race. So Ethan Burrell came down the pit lane. So did Andrew Rucker, Chuck Sweeting, and Thomas Sherman, all 4 tires. So Ethan Burrell's the first guy within the top 5 we have seen pit all race long. And he is going to elect to take the split the race in half strategy. And with these guys up front staying out to this point, is really starting now to put them in a position where if they were to pit late in the race, they're going to be kind of in trouble because everyone else has some sort of fresh tire and they're going to be able to stay out.
Yeah, I just think a lot of these guys, they've probably went back and rewatched North Wilkesboro and they're trying to replicate it. So...
yeah, we'll have to see if it works.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I get it. I totally understand where their thought process is.
It all depends, no matter what strategy you run, it all lands on how the cautions fall. Basically, what you're doing is trying to predict what we're going to get for cautions. And these guys that are staying out are saying, okay, this is going to go to the end of this race filled with cautions. And these guys that are pitting are saying, okay, well, I think there's going to be enough of a run, enough green flag laps between now and the finish of this race to charge through the field on these fresher tires that are definitely an advantage when it comes to speed. But we'll have to see if it works out for these guys, because right now the first guy on any sort of fresh tires, Matthew Weeks, sits 9th. We'll have to see if that strategy works out.
Yeah, and he's on 39 lap old tires, so...
Yep.
About half.
Yeah, only about 40 laps fresher than those that have stayed out the whole way. So that's not the biggest advantage. It's not going to be comparing now Ethan Burrell on fresh tires, brand new, compared to the now almost 80 lap old tires of our leaders. But they're going to play an advantage even on the long run. They really won't plateau that much at this racetrack. It's going to be an advantage all the way to the end. All right, well, coming to the green here, half a lap now away. We'll see if Damien can pull off a good restart here. He has been struggling compared to leader Tyler Fodey as expected. Yeah, this really tricky restart zone right in the corner.
Keep an eye on Ron Lutz.
Oh, Damien just blinked out and he's gone. Long gone right when we took the green, and he is still gone. Oh, man. That's a heartbreaker if he doesn't come back anytime soon. He is still reading his gone on my end on timing and scoring.
Yep.
But Ryan Lutz up to second, Frankenfield third. Man, that's a real tough break, and they're crashing hard. 48 car gets turned. Nick Massey right in front of the field, and I don't know how we didn't pile up there. Everybody squeezed through. Oh, Damien has reappeared on the racetrack, I believe.
There's Nick Massey.
Yeah, Nick Massey was the one that spun there out of 4.
Yeah, it took me a while to find him. He was going down the timing turn real quickly. Of course. Looks like David Tooker might have got into him. Here we go.
Yeah, there's your contact and your caution. Oh, Josh Robin hit him really hard. That's another guy who has the chance to get in on points tonight. Josh Robin 28 out, so it would take a lot, but the way these last few laps have been, it could happen. Damien Leininger reappeared, so that's really lucky for him that he did not have to reconnect to the session, but he was gone for so long, he went a lap down.
Lost a lap, yep.
Currently scored 30th, 1 lap down, picked up some right rear damage as well. 19 of David Tooker running in 6th is going to pick up an EOL. So some big shaking up there in the front of the field. 3 guys that were running well inside the top 10, in the top 5 even, have just found themselves at the rear. Nick Massey, but as they do, they're going to come in for tires. Damien Leininger is in for his tires. Leininger is in for his tires right now. So is Nick Massey, who just spun. So is David Tooker, who just got an EOL for causing that accident. So they're all going to take advantage of this and pit. So definitely not the end of the world. They're going to have enough time to possibly rebound. But we'll have to see if they're able to make it work. But definitely a heartbreak for Damien Leininger, who is cruising in 2nd, and he needs a good run tonight and now has to work for it. So now it is Ryan Lutz up to 2nd behind his teammate Tyler Fodey. We'll see if he has anything for him. The short track ace, number 36. Chad Frankenfield in 3rd, trying to have himself a good run. It's been a while. Trevor Elam up to 4th, having a great run.
Yeah, we got Trevor Elam's putting together a good race for a start.
I also just went to a camera angle and realized that his driver suit is a suit and tie, so that's pretty cool. That's a new one. I've set it up before, so where my pit crew is a bunch of farmers wearing overalls and stuff, but that's the first time I've seen the suit and tie fire suit. It's a pretty cool design there, gotta say.
Yeah, this restart could be very interesting with Lutz being on the front row now.
It definitely could. And Fodey actually took the outside line for this restart. Interesting strategy there for Tyler Fodey as we come to the green flag. We are back underway. He gets the power down really well and gets a really big advantage over teammate Ryan Lutz into turn 1. And through 1 and 2, Fodey, Lutz, and then the battle for 3rd as Elam makes it work and gets by Frankenfield. He's looking really strong here tonight.
Good restart for Elam. Pretty good restart for everybody, really. Good, clean start.
Hank Steinmiller trying to work on Matthew Weeks, who has fresh tires. Also, right behind Weeks on fresh tires as well is Chad Thornquist, who we saw nearly steal a win last week at Darlington. Wound up finishing, I believe, 4th or 5th. He runs in the 7th position in the number 92. Oh, but he's got Josh Robin, who we just saw smash up the nose of his Chevrolet. He's on the inside, also on the same tire strategy. Ooh, I just watched the leaders get really loose. Here comes Trevor Elam for 2nd on Ryan Lutz. To the inside, going for the lead. And he's going to make that pass. Wow. On the original set of tires, caution is out. Looks like you'd think he's on fresh tires, but man, he's flying. Caution, Zach Evans is around in 1 and 2. It is going to be another wheel hop induced self spin on the 6 car. No contact with anybody but himself.
Yeah, here we go. I got it right now.
Comes in a 1 behind Chuck Sweeting, and he's going to lose it on his own. That's going to give the lucky dog to Damien Leininger. You saw him right there next to him.
Zach's car's a little used up.
Yeah, you could say that again. All right, Chad Frankenfield in the pits for tires. Interesting call there. Off sequence of anybody else. 60 laps to go right now. And he is the only man in the pits from even the top 20. So Frankenfield in for his pit stop. And I also look back at how did Trevor Elam get that spot. And Ryan Lutz gave Fodey the bumper through 3 and 4 big time, and they both stacked up, and Trevor was able to pounce on it, so I'm sure Tyler Fodey is fuming right now on Ryan Lutz for trying to put the bumper to him in the first place, and then the second thing was the fact that he didn't even make it work, and it just hurt himself. So Fodey and Lutz probably both not so happy about that one, but they just let Trevor Elam right into second spot, who is putting on quite the showing here tonight.
Yeah, and he's in the middle of the teammate battle now, so he'll have a little bit more to, say, shall we say, with the restart. It's not going to be as orchestrated.
That is exactly right, because he's got himself on the front row.
Yeah.
Hank Steinmiller's worked his way up to 4th, and there is only 4 guys left in this race that have yet to pit, and it is the top 4. The 3 Lake Norman drivers, 1st, 3rd, and 4th, and Trevor Elam in 2nd, that have yet to pit. So an interesting strategy there. The first guy that came in the pits at the halfway point, who also spun out earlier in the race, Chris Wright, is in 7th, trying to do what he did last week again, which the spin and win is hard enough to do. He's trying to do it twice in a row. He did it at Darlington. He's good at doing things twice in a row. He won Darlington, spun and won, and then he won Erskine the same night. And now he's trying to do 2 in a row and win with another spin and win. Chris Wright sits 7th on the freshest tires of anybody within the top 10. Him and R.C. Enerson are both on 30-lap-old tires. They are 7th and 10th.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Wright has the freshest tires of anybody in the top 10. Him and RC, 30 laps. I don't think any of these guys in the top 4 are going to pit.
I think they have kind of set their, they signed and sealed their plan. Yep. It is too late to pit now because everybody else is going to stay out and you're not going to make your way through everybody. So here we come to the green. Ooh, a little bit of a stack up there, but underway, Tyler Fodey. Ryan Lutz is going to try and stick his nose under Trevor Elam, and he does.
Ooh.
But Trevor holds it strong on the outside of Tyler Fodey. Battle for the lead. First time we've seen anybody with a chance on that 40 machine. Side by side through 3 and 4. That 24 machine is looking strong, but Fodey is better on the inside. He is clear into the lead.
Yeah, now we got to watch Ryan Lutz here. Is he going to be able to sneak second out?
Oh, he might. They are door to door. Trevor did everything he could from that outside line on the restart. Oh, he's going to fall into 3rd as he slides it off at turn 4. Also, look at Matthew Weeks has arrived in position 4, and Chris Wright into 5th. They both got by Hank Steinmiller. Oh, spinning is the 87 of Richard Hines. They were 3 wide into turn 1. I think Brian Blauman had no choice but to get into him. We'll have to see what happened there. Very minor contact, though.
I'm trying to find him. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like he was on the outside line. And you'll see it here in a second, but Blauman had a hole and he went for it, and it closed after he had already went for it.
There it is. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh. Harry coming to a stop there.
It's going to cost you a few spots, but it's going to save you quite a bit of damage.
Oh yeah, it's totally worth it to avoid that. That could have been race ending.
Also just gave an EOL to Brian Blauman in the 29. Yes, they did. So Brian Blauman to the rear. He's running right around the 10th position. And he comes into this race very much to the good in points. He was not technically, mathematically locked in, but 45 points to the good. He is basically locked in even at this point. If he were to leave the race, I think he'd still make it in. So Brian Blauman to the rear. But this interesting situation with the chase is looking ever so close, as Damien Leininger has to work his way from 21st right now to, actually he's going to be 20th after he gets by Blauman here, but he's got some work to do here. He has to beat Vincent Isabella by 12 positions, or Josh Clark by 15 positions, or Nick Massey by 16 is the most likely route he will be able to take to get this done. And I know Clark has quite a bit of damage, but he could still pull off a decent finish at 17th right now. I mean, Damien's going to need to work his way into the top 5, more than likely to have a chance, unless these two, or at least one of these three, drop to the rear and crash out of this race.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's not going to want to keep it up to chance. In his right, he's going to want to win this race if he can.
Yeah, that's really the main thing. It makes it easier to think about, too. If you win, it's not like, oh, where did he finish? Oh, where somebody please take him out for me, move him out of the way, get him to the rear. It's just you win and you're in. Simple as that. And Damien had a real good shot at it, but the internet problem or whatever problem it was that costed him a lap there is going to really put a problem right in his face. He's got to work his way to the front now. So I wanted to give a shout out to one of our partners again, C2 Freight, in their EDI services. They offer electronic data interchange services which allow shippers to keep close electronic tabs on their shipments throughout the freight movement process. For more information about EDI services or to discuss your needs for other specialized services, please contact C2 Freight.
As hard as it is to believe, we're over 2/3 into this race now. So
yeah, less than 50 laps to go here in the SMRI Productions 150 from the Martinsville Speedway. And coming to the green once again, Tyler Fodey underway and ahead of Ryan Lutz. The battle for second is going to look good again here.
yeah.
As Lutz comes down, Elam saves it.
Major mistake there by Lutz.
Oh, and they're crashing hard in turn 1. I'm not sure how the caution flag has not waved. There is, and they had to manually throw it there. That sometimes happens here at Martinsville on restarts. I've noticed is there's pileups and the caution doesn't come out. We had like half a dozen cars stopped in turn 1. Caution flag is out. But man, I mean, the 24 car stuck his nose in there on Lutz, and Lutz tried to shut it, and he was there. But we'll look at the replay here.
Yeah, do you catch where that started?
I'm going to go back and look right now. I'm going to say it started with the 08 of Mark Keeler. Yes, it did. The 08 of Mark Keeler into turn number 1.
Yeah, here we go. I got the 16 Sports replay right now. All right. Here we go.
He goes in turn 1 quite a bit too deep, and he took out 2 heavy hitters with him. Damien Leininger and David Tooker were in his path. As Mark Keeler went to turn 1, they made it 3 wide, but either way, if they were not 3 wide, he made some heavy contact there, went up a lane into Damien Leininger. And then nowhere to go, Gerald Campbell, David Tooker, Harrison Talon.
Is that Trevor I see on pit road?
That
Yeah.
is
That's a surprise.
Quite the strategy call there. It is not a lot of time left in this race, and I do not expect a ton of green flag laps in this race. And he has decided to come down and throw a set of tires on the old 24 Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's a bold move.
That really is a risky move. But I can tell you that one thing for sure, that car is clean. There's not many of those left, and it might not be clean at the end of this race, because he has just put himself in a very vulnerable position. But we can for sure say one thing is he was there, and he showed a lot of speed in this race, whether he makes it back to the front or not.
100% correct, yeah.
I mean, he just outdueled and didn't hold back on the best short track driver in this league, debatably.
Oh, no, I agree. Lutz is definitely, he's the king of the short tracks. Everybody knows it. So.
And he did not lay back or anything. He didn't get scared of racing these guys who are veterans of this league, who know everybody. I mean, Trevor is new to this league, and from my knowledge, and he was not afraid to dive in there on Ryan Lutz and feed him the right front when Lutz came down in there. He was committed and he went for it. That was a impressive move there. But one thing we got to mention now is the top of the field has been shaken up big time, and Chris Wright is up to second on tires that are over 60 laps fresher than those of race leader Tyler Fodey, who is now one of 3 guys who have yet to pit. And that's Tyler Fodey, Ryan Lutz, and Hank Steinmiller, who have yet to pit in this race. Everybody else has. And also wanted to mention that Mark Keeler, that was his second EOL that he just received of the night. So he is done, parked for the night. He will finish, I believe, in 31st.
Good restart by Fodey there.
Back underway. Look at Matthew Weeks trying to make a charge for second. Chris Wright did not get going. Oh, and he gets a bumper from Hank Steinmiller. And around goes Chris Wright again. His second spin. Oh, and they're going to have some more contact. Scott Haney got turned. And that was a bumper from Hank Steinmiller that turned the 69 around.
Here we go. We're going to back up real quick here.
And that is one way to get rid of the biggest threat on tires in this race.
Yeah, Hank got into him early. Chris almost had it saved. You lost it there late. Scott Haney got involved. That's tough.
Yeah, tough break there for last week's winner. He was going for 2 spins and wins in a row, and he had a really good shot there at it. But unfortunately, that doesn't help. I don't think you can do a double spin and win. That, I think, is a little too challenging. I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to happen right now. Currently 28th. He'll probably come in and throw on another set of tires now that he's at the tail end of the lead lap, but you're going to need more than tires if you want to make your way to the front after that. And Hank Steinmiller, since he caused the accident, is going to get an EOL, and right when they went over the radio to say that, he yanked it into the pits.
Oh, man.
He yanked it in to throw 4 tires on, but Hank Steinmiller is going to the rear. And this Lake Norman Motorsports 1, 2, 3, at one point I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
has been completely disbanded. I mean, you got Fodey leading, and he has led all 112 laps.
Yeah, not pitting is really going to come into effect here, too.
Yeah, I think he's going to find out, the bad side of that strategy here soon. But these guys keep wrecking in 1 and 2. Maybe he never will. But, I mean, we got Weeks and Thornquist on 40-lap fresher tires. And then Enerson is on 60-lap fresher tires. And then you got Ryan Lutz, who is on the same strategy as Fodey on the original 112-lap old tires. So yeah, Lake Norman has been split from 1 through 4 to 1, 5. I've got scored 13th for Damien Leininger, and we're going to score Hank Steinmiller in 27th. So he is at the back of the field now with Chris Wright and Nick Massey, who have all been up front and to the rear during this race.
Yeah, we should get 1 to go this time by, I believe. Now.
So 1 lap to green here in the SMRI Productions 150. Race number 11 on the season. And the final of the regular season. Vincent Isabella, a guy who needs a good run here, has worked his way to 6th position. Also wanted to mention that. And as long as he finishes up here toward the front of the field, he's going to find himself in that final position to make the chase. But still a ways to go. A lot of things could change. Green flag's in the air. Matthew Weeks does not get going at all. And that gives Chad Thornquist a run into turn number 1. And oh, he overcooks it into Weeks. They all wipe each other out. Ryan Lutz back into second. And these guys running on those fresh tires just keep stepping on their own feet and falling backwards, giving Ryan Lutz, who has yet to pit, the second position. Look at R.C. Enerson up to 3rd. Man, what a wild restart that was.
Yeah, they did a good job not to wreck there, to be honest.
Yeah, Thornquist went way too hot into turn 1, came across the left front of Matthew Weeks. Everyone held on to it. Don't know how, but we are in a dash to the finish here. 35, now 34 to go. R.C. Enerson is the first man on tires, and he is on fresher tires than a lot of the guys behind him, including Weeks, Robin, Rucker, Thornquist. He's got fresher tires than all of them by about 25 laps, 24 laps exactly. Oh, Thornquist in the wall again. Not sure if there was contact with another driver or what, but he went way wide into 3, loses all those spots. Reminds me of last
got Sherman.
Oh, backing up front.
Oh, Chuck
gets
saves
turned.
it.
Oh,
they're right there. There's Gerald.
They're off the track, technically. I guess they're in the back straightaway pits, so we might not get a caution for that. Gerald Campbell involved. And I just watched Damien Leininger pass about 10 cars. Oh, man.
No
Madness
caution.
into turn 1. Caution is not out on the speedway for that one. There is madness all over this racetrack. They are trying to kill somebody out here.
Josh
You can virtually kill a man.
Yeah, there's Josh Robin trying to get RC.
Where did he come from? Josh Robin looking for a spot there. They all have older tires than RC, and they are passing them here on this run. Weeks into 3rd, Robin into 4th. Trying to keep an eye on Vincent Isabella because he is very important here when it comes to the championship battle, because he's been passed by all of these guys that need to beat him. Oh, they're trying so hard to crash on the front straightaway here with Chad Thornquist. My God, Josh Clark, they are everywhere on this racetrack. I am just waiting for something to happen with these guys. It's absolute madness through the middle of this field.
You know what's crazy is we got Fodey and Lutz up front, and they haven't pitted.
That is really impressive.
I
And
can't believe that.
The way that this madness on this restart has turned out, that they've just been able to check out to enough of a gap where tires are going to need something more than tires to get themselves to the front. I mean, Weeks runs 3rd, over a second and a half behind. He's running very slightly faster than the leaders, but not fast enough. He needs another caution, which the way these guys are racing, I think he will get another caution at one point. But Robin 4th, Enerson 5th, Andrew Rucker in 6th, Damien Leininger has moved up to 7th. And then I look back to Vincent Isabella, who runs 10th right now, trying to hold his car close enough to Damien Leininger to make sure he does not lose that spot in the chase. Also, Josh Robin, the way things are running right now, he is basically in a must-win situation. He's enough points out right now that where everyone else is running, he'd need a miracle to get in on points. He'd need Vincent to wreck, he'd need Josh Clark to wreck, he'd need Damien to wreck. So he's basically in a must-win, but he's put himself in 4th on tires.
RC letting Rucker go there. That was pretty orchestrated.
It looks like he let him go there on the back straightaway.
No. Up front, though, Tyler Fodey's doing exactly what he needs to do. Just setting the pace.
Absolutely. He's got a really solid gap over his teammate Ryan Lutz, which I do not think Lutz will be able to close. As good as Lutz is, I think his car is used up. His tires are probably more used up. We've seen him Tokyo drifted a few times through a few corners, get knocked around, and we'll have to see if he can do it. But odds are slim to none on Ryan Lutz's side if this thing goes green to the end, which would also shock me. The odds are slim to none on that. We've got 23 laps to go now. Not a long time left in this race. Also, Damien Leininger is up to 6th on this really good fresh set of tires. He's got fresher tires than anybody in front of him by a long shot. 40-lap fresher tires than Weeks, Robin, and Rucker, and 80-lap fresher tires than your top two. And he has proven to be one of the fastest cars on the track, qualified and ran in 2nd position up until his internet problem. So he is looking good right now.
Yeah, this is a great comeback run for him. He's got to be ecstatic to be where he's at right now. Chad Frankenfield's on pretty fresh tires too. Only 39, 40 laps on his.
Yeah, they're fresher than Damien's even.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if he can do anything with them. And I really couldn't tell you whose car is used up more. I mean, Damien doesn't have a back bumper, neither does Rucker, and they're both running in the top 6. That's
Fodey's
quite
in
a
lap
few beat-up
traffic.
cars. Yes, he is. Gap 1.4 seconds. He pulled about a tenth last time by, but they have caught some lap traffic.
There's Dan Martinez getting out of the way for Lutz.
Here comes Damien Leininger for 5th on Andrew Rucker. Rucker cut him some slack there.
Yeah, here we got it. Going into 1.
Leininger
pushed
washed
up.
Into,
Yep.
he came down across Chad's nose. Lots of contact here. They're going to be 3 wide. Oh, Damien comes down and doors Rucker. Now Chad's going to work his way through. I think Damien really needs to take a deep breath here and just make sure he gets through these guys clean, because I'm watching Vincent Isabella continue to fall through the field, as well as Josh Clark. But Damien, in all honesty, he needs every spot he can get right now, because it's really tight on this battle.
Oh, they door
that
again.
Final position. He is feeding that door to Chad. He's giving it to Burrell, Rucker, everybody. And now Frankenfield gets through on fresher tires than all of these guys.
That was a great job of him to not junk it up, basically.
They have been trying so hard to wreck for the last 20 laps. I don't know how we are still green in this run we have right now. It's just chaos. I think Chris Wright brought out the most recent caution, if I'm not mistaken. He has moved himself almost into the top 10. As he makes a move on Thomas Sherman for 10th right now. Ooh, Sherman doesn't want to let him make that move. Oh, and he's going to turn him. Chris Wright turns Thomas Sherman out of turn 4. And there's your caution with 15 laps to go. I saw that one coming all the way from halfway down the back straightaway until turn 4. That's how long it took him to wreck.
Yeah, I just quickly backed up to it here so we can see it.
Yeah, you're going to see Wright has much, much fresher tires. Sherman is not going to give it to him.
You blocked heavy.
A major, major block, and yep, he got turned. We'll have to see what the officials ruled there. There was definitely a big block, and it was very slight contact that sent Sherman around, who was in a must-win situation, was running in 10th, and has now brought out the caution flag with 14 to go, and also he lost a lap, having to wait for the field to get by. But man, oh man, Tyler Fodey had it won until that caution. He had a big gap, and there was not much of a chance for anyone to catch him if we went caution-free. But he just put so many, I think we did about 25, I want to say, 25 green flag laps, 20 green flag laps maybe. And he just used up those tires, as well as Ryan Lutz. They are destroyed, those tires they got on there. And you got Matthew Weeks, Josh Robin, Chad Frankenfield, and Damien Leininger trying to charge through these guys. Damien Leininger especially is going to be very aggressive here, going for the win. Got to keep an eye on Vincent Isabella and Josh Clark, because he needs to beat them by a good amount of spots. You've got Damien running 6th right now. He needs to beat Isabella by 12 spots, and right now he's only beating Isabella by 5, and he needs to beat Josh Clark by 15 spots, and he is only beating Josh Clark by 9 positions. So that's what it's going to come down to here.
Yeah, it's been a great race. It's been interesting to watch the strategy play out, and kind of like North Wilkesboro, here we got 2 drivers at the front that haven't pitted.
And the EOL, unless I heard that wrong, was given to Thomas Sherman in 23, who has now been, I guess you could say, labeled the victim in many ways. He spun, he went a lap down, and now he's getting penalized for it, more than likely because of that block, I guess, but that's an unfortunate end to any chances Thomas Sherman had at winning and making it into the chase come Daytona road course next week.
Yeah, here we go. The field coming around to get one to go.
This is going to be, yeah, we were going to say the same thing there. This is going to be a finish.
Good shootout. I can't wait.
This is going to be something. You got all sorts of different tire strategies throughout this field, but the main ones are the top two did not pit. They set that strategy down. Tyler Fodey trying to replicate what the third place runner Matthew Weeks did at North Wilkesboro back towards the beginning of the season. It was actually the middle of the season, race number 6, where Matthew Weeks got the pole, never pitted, led every lap, and won that race on the original set of tires, as we had a lot of cautions. Definitely has been a little less of a wreckfest this race than it was there, but still the same premise here for leader Tyler Fodey as we take the green flag. Ryan Lutz spun the tires. Look at everybody trying to get to the bottom. They do not want to be near that 36 car on the old tires, and Matthew Weeks has made it up into second, and he's going to try to chase down your leader, Tyler Fodey. Oh, Lutz hammers the 11 of Matthew Weeks into turn 3.
That might be payback for last night.
I was thinking the same thing last night in the truck race. Ryan Lutz got bump and run by Weeks, who's going to clean him out into turn 1. Ryan Lutz drowned in turn number 1. And man, oh man.
You didn't lift at all.
They are not going to be happy tonight. Tempers here at Martinsville. Ryan Lutz is totaled. And Damien Leininger is in second. Unbelievable how this race has flipped on its head. Matthew Weeks is in third. Damien Leininger is up into second on tires 80 laps fresher than his teammate, the race leader, Tyler Fodey.
Wow. What?
That was unbelievable.
That's chaos if we've ever seen it.
Wow, I'm going to have to go back and look at that one myself here. That was just chaos for a whole lap. I mean, Ryan Lutz, you can't deny, he flew into turn 3 and fed the 11 car a huge move, which you could argue is payback for the bump and run that was given last night in the Truck Series race.
Yeah, I just backed up. I've got all of Lutz here. We're just going to follow Ryan Lutz. We'll see his bump on Weeks, and we'll see the payback here.
Man. Yeah, and they're going to give Matthew Weeks an EOL, FYI, but you see Lutz definitely, that was more than a bump.
Yeah.
That was he smoked them, but Matthew Weeks made sure that Lutz didn't get away with that, and he goes into turn number 1, and you can't deny it. He didn't misjudge that corner. He misjudged it on purpose, and then Lutz, in a fit of anger, definitely was lighting up the tires a little bit and smashed into a couple other guys, which it's definitely going to be frowned upon here by officials there. Maybe post-race penalties because of this, who knows. We'll have to wait and see there, but I can tell you one thing is Matthew Weeks has received an EOL. So he'll go to the rear because he, in the end, caused the caution. And Ryan Lutz is also receiving an EOL, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get some penalties post-race as well, but we'll have to update you on those next week, or you can follow the Elite Racing League on social media. They may be posted there as well.
That's one of the things, we're seeing payback come out at the wrong places.
Yep, that's exactly right. I mean, the main thing is when you come to Martinsville, you know payback is going to happen, and people are going to get angry. It happens all the time in real life. We saw it in real life, and we've seen it plenty of times, and it's no different on a simulator, except for you can't kill people, so I guess that helps. But you can go in there and run somebody into the grandstands if you wanted, and nobody will get hurt. But they tried to there, and it is what it is. I mean, it's a wild moment there. As now you got Matthew Weeks, though, who had a really good shot at winning, and I'm sure he's upset. And equally upset should be Ryan Lutz, who was running up front in a chance for a good finish in his first race back, and that's unfortunate how it has to end like that. But coming to the restart, look at Damien Leininger.
Yeah, you know, like those guys, they're going to be furious, but we got to focus on the front here. Like Tyler Fodey, he's trying to replicate what Matthew Weeks did. He hasn't pitted the entire race. He's got Leininger on the inside here, who, you know, it's a miracle he's even here.
Yeah, I don't know how he has made it, but I'll tell you one thing, he's going to push as hard as he can to win this race. He's in a must-win situation here. Green flag is back in the air. Fresh tires for Leininger to the inside.
Oh, my gosh.
He's going to turn him. Oh, but he saved it. Caution's out. We're going to go into overtime. And they are still crashing in turn 2 and still crashing down the back straightaway. Will they give the 12 of Leininger his spots back? I don't know. Where will he be scored? Because he never actually spun. They're going to score him second. He's going to get his spots back, but Robin tried to send him in there, and it looked like Fodey was ready to give Leininger the win. He was almost moving over and went wide into 1 and 2. Let's look at the replay.
Yeah, I went back to Robin here so we can see it. Here we go.
Yeah,
Bauman got loose. Bauman's in the wall. They were already wrecking.
Oh, an aggressive move there by Robin. Deja vu of the Cup race here a few weeks ago.
He bounced off the wall and was just in front of everybody.
Wow.
That's chaos. We're seeing it tonight, that's for sure.
Unlike what happened in the Cup race, Damien Leininger was able to hang onto it there. He got not as much turned as he did in the Cup race. He hangs onto it, and he was able to get his spots back and has scored second. So that was lucky that he was able to get his spots back. Sometimes iRacing can be like that, and it won't. But I mean, man, that just took out like 10 cars spun in there. I want to mention one thing: Zach Evans in the number 6 machine, who doesn't have a front bumper, doesn't have a back bumper.
He's an 8th.
He might as well rip the roof off of that thing because it's been everywhere. He's hit everything but the hot dog stand, and he's in 8th right now.
8th, we got David Westergreen in 9th. He's putting together quite not. Look at this. 2-time spinner here in 10th place. Chris Wright.
That is unreal. There's some cars torn up in this field that are still in it. That was probably the biggest wreck of the night, and it took a lot of guys with it.
Hey, you look at
Clark has moved up to 6th.
Oh yeah, that's a big move too.
Got to mention this: Vincent Isabella must have got caught up in that. I missed him. There were so many cars in it. He's 22nd, and with that, if he finishes where he is now, 22nd, Damien Leininger 2nd, he will point his way in to the chase. That is a major shake-up there. Vincent Isabella, from my math, is outside of the top 14 in points as we run right now. So that's major. Josh Clark has moved into 6th, though he is pretty safe as they run, but Damien Leininger will knock out Vincent Isabella if Vincent finishes in 22nd and Damien in 2nd.
Man, look at this. You gave the commentator's curse to Trevor Elam. Look at his car now. Doesn't have a front end at all.
That thing is torn up. I mean, hey, he still runs 14. We are getting ready for our final restart. This is the one attempt at overtime here in the Elite Racing League per the rule book. And if a caution comes out before we get the white flag, the race ends immediately. And if we make it to the white flag, then there are no cautions, which is a nice thing about simulated races. But coming to the green, Chad Frankenfield in 3rd on really fresh tires. Can he do anything about it? Damien Leininger in 2nd, just needs to hold on to it. We are green into turn number 1. Tyler Fodey is clear in the lead. Damien Leininger clear in 2nd. Not sure if he's going to be able to go for the win or if he'll even try, knowing the situation with the number 2 of Vincent Isabella as we come to the white flag in the SMRI 150.
Here we go.
The white flag is out. There's some spinners in the rear of the field, but the caution will not come out. This is the last lap. Battle is on for 3rd, but it's all about your leader, Tyler Fodey. Damien Leininger drives it in deep, but so does Fodey to avoid contact, and checkered flag is out. Tyler Fodey picks up win number 3 on the season in the SMRI Productions 150. Here for the Elite Racing League, Damien Leininger finishes 2nd. 1-2 for Lake Norman Motorsports. Ethan Burrell was able to steal 3rd from Chad Frankenfield at the stripe.
What a race.
What a wild showdown here at Martinsville. Vincent Isabella, heartbreak for Vincent, finishes 22nd. waiting on official words. I'm sure they're going to update points immediately, but I believe he will be eliminated from the chase, which he was having such a great season. It's unfortunate that it has to come down to that, but man, oh man, he was in it until the very end. Tyler Fodey picks up the third win of the season in what has been an unbelievably dominant season. Finished within the top 10 in every single race this regular season. Finished in the top 5 all but 2 races, I believe. And cruised to the championship of the regular season.
Consistency is king, and you know he's got to love Martinsville. He just gets up front and stays there.
Yes, he does. Tyler Fodey gets it done. He sweeps Martinsville this season. He won there in the Cup Series, and he gets it done yet again. Yeah, I went back and looked at that major accident that we had earlier. Man, Vincent Isabella was about to clear that wreck, and a spinning Josh Robin in the middle of the chaos just caught him in the right rear and sent him head-on into the wall, causing Vincent to fall to the rear. But we're going to get on to interviews here. We're going to jump into third-place finisher Ethan Burrell. Ethan, it's Ryan Gable up here in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, you came out alive and on the podium after a hectic race here at Martinsville. The emotions were high, man, and you pulled out a third-place finish, and I don't think you were involved in too much there compared to some. So talk us through your race and what you saw out the windshield.
Yeah, hectic's the right word. Early on, I mean, I had great practice speed, but I really let it go in qualifying, which I knew would bite me in the end. And I was quick early on, but I was kind of stuck behind the Lake Norman cars there the first half of the race. I really couldn't do anything, but how they were kind of controlling the starts there. So I decided right around the halfway point, I knew it would be risky, but I figured, well, I'll just try to go put tires on it and see if I can't drive back through and then have an advantage when I got there. But I picked up some battle scars on the way through and got a little bit of engine damage there actually in the last 50 laps or so. So the fact that I ended up on the podium is pretty insane to me, but I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, it was a wild one for sure. And how big of a difference exactly did tires make? We know Tyler Fodey obviously stayed out to the end and won it, and some guys stayed out to the end and didn't work out so much. And then there were some guys who pitted early and got caught up in a mess. How important were the tires?
I think in a situation like this race, to really see a tire advantage would have taken, probably a 50 or so lap run for us to really get some heat in the tires with the cold track. So as far back as it put you in traffic and, with the short runs we were having there, it was tough to pick my way back up towards the front. I mean, I looked out on a lot of positions, just kind of ducking through some of the crashes. So, I just, my thinking was, well, just stay on the leader strategy and stay in 4th or 5th, or, try to make something happen and maybe get some luck out of it, maybe fight for a win. But either way, we'll take it.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for you in the end. You pulled off a solid podium finish, and congratulations on the run. And is there anyone you want to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my grandma and Aunt Judy for watching, all my friends and family for tuning into these races. Guys at Pro Edge Racing, we were all having pretty solid runs, not quite up front entirely, but we were having some good runs. And David Tooker Designs for the paint scheme, and thanks to you guys for putting on the show for us.
And congratulations again on the third-place finish. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again as the playoffs start next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, that was your third-place finisher in Ethan Burrell. We're going to move on to your runner-up, Damien Leininger here, who I'm sure has a lot of different emotions here about tonight's race. Damien Leininger, Ryan Gable here in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy. What's up?
Well, man, I don't know how else to put that race other than just complete madness from your end. You were in all sorts of ups and downs. I did not personally think you were going to be able to make it up to the front, never mind nearly win it. You nearly got wrecked about 15 times. You blinked out and lost. It was just chaos, and I'm going to let you do the talking here and walk me through that race.
Just really insane. Fodey and me got the pole and then starting second, and I think I was a better car than him overall. It just took, by the time he got the jump, it took about 10 to 15 laps for me to really reel him in, and then I couldn't really get a good enough drive off to dive on the inside, and we were just kind of waiting for a long run, and then I started blinking out right there, and I never blinked on my side, but they were telling me I was blinking, and I came back in, and I was in 30th, one lap down, so I was like, man, I might as well pit and get tires here, and then I rode through and got lucky on the lucky dog. This car spun inside of me, so I barely missed not getting contact there. And then just through all the wrecks and madness, I got to apologize to Chuck. I was trying to fight so hard, I accidentally spun him one time, but kind of hit him to keep it straight so we didn't get a caution, so that's luckily. But man, it was an insane race. Ups and downs, like you said. I was sweating it until the last second. I mean, I told Fodey on the radio, I was like, I will ship you if I have to win this. Like, I do not care about wrecking you in 3 and 4 right here if I have to win it.
Yeah, you got lucky there at the end when it came to the playoff picture in that major accident that happened there, the last caution, when Josh Robin got into you and then they piled up. Vincent Isabella, who was running in the top 10, wound up getting piled into that accident, and he finished in 22nd, which, knowing the order of the points and everything, I noticed that now you were in a position where you could point your way in, and you wound up finishing in second, and that was more than enough. The points just updated. You actually not only beat Vincent, but you actually beat Nick Massey in points as well. So you were not the last man in. Nick Massey barely snuck in by a couple of points, but you officially made the playoffs on points after tonight's strong run. And what are your thoughts as we head into round number 1 starting next week?
I finally made it in. It's been a bad luck for me the last couple seasons in Elite. So to finally get into the playoffs and hopefully make a long run in it, it's encouraging for me at least to finally have a sign of good light coming. So hopefully we can make a deep playoff run and maybe make a run at the championship.
Well, congratulations on the runner-up finish. A really strong run you had all night, and you had to work for it as well, on top of just sitting in the lead for a little while. But any sponsors you want to thank? Anybody out there you want to give a shout-out to before I let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the Batflip Podcast. It's my podcast. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Shout out to all the L&M guys. Fodey with the win. Hank ran really good. Lutz for keeping me calm through the entire time. He was messaging me like, dude, calm down. Just run your race. You'll get it. And, big shout out to Ryan Lutz. Thanks you guys for broadcasting this and then, allowing us something we can watch back on and have a little bit of fun. And Chad and everybody that puts this league on. At times we get frustrated with each other, but overall it's really fun league.
Well, congratulations on a solid run here tonight, and good luck as the playoffs start next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that was your runner-up, Damien Leininger. We're going to move on to winner Tyler Fodey. Tyler Fodey, Ryan Gavely, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tyler, you had yourself a boring race from your perspective. You played the right strategy, though, in the end, staying out all the way to the end of the race. Did you have any thoughts throughout the race on pitting, or were you pretty much set on staying out the whole way from start to finish as long as nothing went wrong?
Initially, if we had the long green run, I felt tires might be worth it, but when we were only doing 10, 15 maybe at the most, and then getting the yellow, and just hearing about people in the back getting swamped, it just never seemed worth it. The race wasn't really boring, though. The whole time, those last 20 laps got pretty nerve-wracking, running for my life there on the restarts. But no, all in all, it was pretty good. And yeah, happy to see Damien pick up the second and squeak his way into the playoffs.
Yeah, it was definitely a close one there, and man, that was a wild race that, unfortunately for you, you didn't get to watch it. You just had to sit there and lead every lap and win it. But an awesome race. You had yourself an unbelievably dominant season. You have won the regular season championship. As long as 3 races, you finished in the top 10 every single race. Just talk us through your whole season, just how well you did and how you did it.
I only really started to notice it the last couple of weeks when y'all were pointing it out. And looking back at the results, I want to say I was only sixth twice, which is a shame. I was really close to having top fives every week, but no, it's the same mindset every week of just knowing where your car's at. If you got a top 10 car, make sure you finish there, top five. And it's the same way I approached the Cup season. Just didn't go our way with the incidents, but when it all goes your way, this tends to be the result. So I'm happy with it.
Now, with all the playoff points that you have been able to pick up with the winning 3 races, winning the regular season championship, you should have a pretty, now I knock on wood when I say that, because, the Kevin Harvick situation is a good example that playoff points can mean nothing in the end. But what are your thoughts as we head into this first round, the second round, and the finale as you hope to cruise through?
Yeah, I haven't really taken a look at the races coming up. I heard Daytona Road Course might be opening it up, which, at least for the first round, I don't know how many points I'm going to have. I'd like to think that we'd be okay to make it to the second round, but from my experience, at least, the second round is where it really all comes down to it, where every result matters. So we're just going to play it race by race and hope for the best result.
Yeah, well, congratulations on another win. A really successful regular season where I'm looking at the stats, and it's unbelievable. You have the highest win percentage, the best average start of a full-time driver, best average finish, most top 5s, most top 10s, most laps completed, most laps led. You can go on and on with everything, but I mean, just an unbelievably dominant season. And also, on top of all that, you had the least incidents of any full-time driver. So you're picking off every category here in the books. But congratulations on the regular season championship, the win. And is there anybody you want to thank here tonight before I let you go?
I got to shout out the Lake Norman guys there. There was a moment where we were all running first to fourth, which was pretty awesome. And I know they were cycling around back there, and just a lot of late race short track action happened and knocked Hank and Lutz out of contention there. But really, just again, proud of Damien's effort to come in tonight, being 12 points out of it, to have his blinking issue halfway through and go to the back, put tires on, and still be able to drive all the way back to me there. Not gonna lie, I was nervous the last few laps, but to see him do that just shows that a win's around the corner. And I definitely look for him to be successful here in these playoffs.
Well, congratulations again on the dominant season and another win here tonight at Martinsville. All right, that was your winner again and champion of the regular season, Tyler Fodey. Still got a long ways to go here through the playoffs. And, man, Jordan, I had a really good time watching that wild race.
Yeah, I did too. I think we got what we asked for tonight, racing at Martinsville.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed watching that one. And I thank you all for tuning in here to the Elite Racing Network. This was another round of the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. And we're going to head next week to the Daytona Road Course, and that is bound to be a great race, the last of 2 road courses on the schedule for this season, and it will open up the playoffs for the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. I'm Ryan Gable. Alongside me, Jordan Owens on Productions. We'd like to thank you again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week at the Daytona International Speedway Road Course.